Yes, y'all. Welcome back to the Klyph Notes podcast. This interview is a great example of really what the Klyph Notes podcast truly is meant to be, man. Just an opportunity for you to just get to sit back and listen to a conversation between two folk. And this was a long time coming. I hadn't talked to this guy in depth like this in a minute. And you'll hear about all of that on this episode. Formerly known as Kenny Mack, but my guy Mellenium is my guest on this episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. And we get into everything from his music career to his business ventures currently, from art to clothing, the Church of Mellenium. It's a really good conversation, trust me, man. Hey, yo, before we get into that, just want to get you updated on some things to make sure you have on your calendar. This Thursday, November the 17th, Klyph Notes Live. It's the final Klyph Notes Live recording in the series at Show Bar Portland. And I get a chance to chop it up with Portland-based musician Farnell Newton. So you know he's got stories because he's toured with some of the greats, man. Also on the night, DJ Renz is going to be in the building holding us down. So it's going down this Thursday. It's a free event, November the 17th, 21 and over. So definitely come through. And then following up quickly on November the 19th and 20th, My People's Market is going down at the Oregon Convention Center. And if you haven't been to a My People's Market, it's really dope. It's an opportunity to see some great vendors, eat some good food, see some amazing crafts and art. And there's going to be some dope performers in the building. And Klyph Notes Live is going to be there. So we're going to be doing some interviews with some of the vendors and the founders. And it's going to be a really, really good time, man. Oregon Convention Center this coming weekend, Saturday the 19th and Sunday the 20th of November. And then also a couple of other events that I want to make sure that you are absolutely looking forward to, man. On November the 27th, No Requests is back. I'm going to be on the ones and twos with my guy DJ Ambush and his therapy, man. 2 DJs, 4 decks, no requests, straight boom bap. It's going down at the White Eagle Saloon. Once again, this is a free event, 21 and over, White Eagle Saloon. It's a Sunday, 6 p.m., the 27th at White Eagle Saloon, man, no requests. On December the 2nd, the GOAT, Rakim, is coming back to Portland, celebrating 25 years since he released the 18th Letter. If you haven't seen Rakim, then you should just go buy tickets right now. He's going to be at the Crystal Ballroom December the 2nd. Local support from Cool Nuts and DJ Fatboy. DJ OG1 is going to be in the building on the ones and twos, and I get to host this dope event. So go get your tickets right now. It's the GOAT. It's Rakim. You definitely don't want to miss this. One of the best MCs in the history of hip-hop, man, and someone who literally changed the art form. And the final event I got to make sure you're up on is December the 10th. We're doing the final mic check PDX of 2022. It's going down at the White Eagle Saloon. Dark Time Sunshine is going to be in the building with support from Torborn. Boom Bap Project and Brimmer Baden is also going to be on the bill. So it's going to be a good night at the White Eagle Saloon. Tickets are available right now. So go cop those. December the 10th, the final mic check of 2022. All right, let's get into this dope conversation with my guy, Mellenium. This is episode 150 of the Klyph Notes podcast. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Akepele Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Akepele, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com. Yes, y'all. Once again, welcome to the Klyph Notes podcast, available everywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts. You know the deal. Like, rate, subscribe, share, review, like the whole nine, man. So we gotta get the word out, let people know where we at. This one's gonna be dope. So you've heard me say this a number of times. The Klyph Notes podcast is an extension of, really came out of doing the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show. And when I was doing the radio show, one of the first guests, I have to go back to look to be for real, it's either one of or the first guests on the show. This was when I was introduced to this cat. He came out to the spot out in Gresham, and we just been building ever since over the years. You may know him as Kenny Mack, but we now know him as Mellenium, live on the Klyph Notes podcast. What up, B?
Yo, what up with you, baby?
Chilling, bro, chilling. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to be seen. It's also good to see you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. You are constantly moving through many different spaces and got a bunch of different stuff going, bro. But the one thing that is constant, that is consistent, is the music thing, bro. It's crazy. You've been making music for a number of years and continue to create content. And at a consistent level, bro. Like, what's the drive to keep staying in this music thing? Because it's different now from when you started, obviously.
Yeah, it's a different grind than when I started. I think that for some people, people do music and that's cool. You know what I mean? So you know how many people I've seen fall off that was supposed to be this dude or this dude or them dudes or that girl or her or him, and it's like I never looked at music as a job, I don't think. I think I looked at music as just something I do and it's in me. And so when you do something and it's just in you, and it's like another thing is like, I've never been a person, like until you making millions of dollars in the music industry, you're not. So if you're not making $1 million in the music industry, now mind you.
Wait, say that again though, because they might have missed that.
No, until you're making $1 million in the music industry, you're not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the music industry is very expensive. If you're not getting paid, you're paying. It's like a female. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, you're gonna pay to be in the music industry until she recognizes you on a certain level, and then she's gonna take you out on dates. You know what I'm saying? There's more mutuality in it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that with me and music, I've just always done it. It's never been a question of doing it, and I never did music for anything except for the fact that I do music. It brought me attention in certain ways. So at that point, I just felt like I'm going to keep doing music until I don't feel like doing music no more. And it's not like it's expensive to do music time-wise.
Right.
Because mentally you have to use your brain to, it's crazy. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking, dang, like when I had just wrote, I was recording in the like a couple of days ago out here and at Momentum. And I was sitting there thinking like, damn, bro, like, whenever you do music, you do it. It's not an issue. When people still be booking you to do hella music, and when you do it, like, I still want to make sure I give people a good product, even though I know I'm him. Anytime I go into a room, I don't think it's, you know what I'm saying, I'll kill Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It's what I do. If we in that environment, I'll do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an environment. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fight. Yeah. When you see some people fight, and then every once in a while you see somebody you don't know go in the ring with the champ and either whoop the champ or get giving the champ everything because they might not know who this person is. This person came somewhere else. That's what I am. Yeah. When I show up, I'm going to do what I do. And I know all artists supposed to think they him, but like I really am. Like I bend these words, and words, it's funny because verbal communication is the weakest form of communication that we have as human beings. Okay. Because people found ways to mislead you and lie. Yeah. Now, body language, when somebody's saying something, a lot of times will sometimes be at odds with what they're saying. Facts. Like you'll look at somebody and their face and their body is looking a certain way. They're not saying it with confidence. You know what I'm saying? So when you go into situations like that, people have learned to manipulate words. But I feel like, I use words for one thing and one thing only. That's to get my point across and to be understood at the highest levels. And whether I'm putting a deal together. And this is the thing. All the music that I've done has led to a lot of different things, which I'm sure we'll get into. But I think music with me is like I make it because I have people that enjoy my music. I have fans. I have more like peers. I don't look at my people as fans in a certain way because I treat everybody the same. I'm on the internet. If I sold 10 million records, I still would deal with the people that enjoy my music on a certain level because I come from a different thing than most artists come from. So,
And that's one of the things to spend a minute talking about is you haven't, like, you are who you are, which is one of the things that's always been cool for me, right? Being a transplant to the city, getting to know people in the city, you've been not that others haven't, but you've been consistently who you are, on record, off record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for better or worse.
Yeah, well, yes, but again, we know that as we move through life, we have different life experiences, and sometimes it can change our perspective or whatever. But like, you've consistently been who you are from jump. And is that a conscious thing? Is that just how you're wired? Is that because of your life experience?
I think I'm just wired like that to a point for a few reasons. I don't want to. It's kind of like investing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people will find a stock and they'll invest in it, and it does real good. But then sometimes these stocks will crash, and you have to make a decision sometimes. Like, am I going to jump out this joint, or am I going to go for the ride?
Yeah.
Well, I decided to go for the ride, because the whole thing about it is when you start jumping off the ride, you on all these different rides, and that starts to mess with your identity, and it's hard to identify with who you are with yourself. Like, I'm married to myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm married to everything that I am. Now, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but for me not to be somebody's cup of tea, it must be understood they might not be mine. Mm-hmm. Now, I think people spend more time pointing out the fact that people ain't their cup of tea and not understanding that there's also another part to that, you not being somebody's cup of tea. Right. So why you saying, well, you really not my style.
Right.
I always want people to know, you know what I'm saying, when they say, well, or if people decide they want to go in a different direction with, any type of business or I'm related to, it's like I always want people to know, like, for as much as I'm not somebody's style or I'm not their first choice or something, listen, y'all not my style and y'all not my first choice either. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I'm in predicaments where I'm doing business with people and places and things that aren't my style or my first choice. You know what I'm saying? But the business side of this is the business side. And me remaining exactly who I am. See, my biggest thing is, this is my biggest thing. Like, people can't see this right here, but this is my biggest thing. Like, I'm not going to not be me. I can't not be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're looking at the tats.
I can't not be me. So, like, my biggest thing is to, I think the biggest vision that I have in my head when it comes to thinking about myself is, I'm the type of person that's going to go into a business deal with a suit on, and you can't really see none of my tattoos because I went out of my way to cover them up for the business deal. Right. But as soon as I close the business deal and shake hands and before the ink is even dry, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to take my suit coat off and my shirt off, and so these people can see what it is. Yeah. Because I want to be able to remain me and still close these deals, and still I don't want to have to change and abide and bend by other people's thought processes to get stuff done. Yeah. And even if I do bend, I'm only bending to get the deal done a little bit, so I can still be me. Mm-hmm. After I bend a little bit, I'm gonna sit down and whatever little piece got bent, I'm gonna go ahead and straighten it out, and I'm gonna let the people know, like, this is what y'all dealing with, because I take pride in the fact that I've been on my life roller coaster, and I wouldn't advise anybody to get on the ride that I chose to get on, because they don't really want this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't suggest it to anybody, and I wouldn't even put my ride on my worst enemies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's not something that people, it's not for human consumption.
It's funny, I can't remember who it was that I was talking to, but talking to about your experience or your
path.
Your path. Like, especially when it comes to the Portland scene, and somebody was like, "Yeah, man, I remember when early on Kenny was like, Tim's and Jabos and like backpack Kenny." Which was, and I didn't know you then. Like, I haven't heard any of your music that you were making during that time. Yeah. And then, obviously, some of that is you expressing your skill artistically. Is there a time that you can look at on that path when where for you it switched from being purely an artistic piece to a business piece, or has that happened?
I think that, like, it's funny because there's always people out there that like to reference my timeline, and they reference it for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you have to create a timeline for people to reference. Right. If you don't create a timeline, then people can't reference you, and they can't have just positions to your position. They can't have any position on it. So anytime somebody references your life or your timeline and it's not in a way that you would hope they would, it's okay, because that means you're actually on a path. There's always going to be people that feel like you should go in a certain direction, or you should go left when you went right, or you should have dipped when you ducked.
Yeah.
It's always those people. Yeah, it's easy to sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, you should have made a left, when you can see all the paths.
Right.
When you on the path, you can't always see all the paths. And so, like, yeah, like, I think I was like, okay, so like, yeah, I wore Timbs, but I still wear Timbs now. And so I think their references sometimes to Timbs is they want to put me in a certain light for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be negative. It just, I think people like to show that light in me. But this is the thing. Yeah, I used to wear Timbs, and it's crazy because the day that I had that incident that was, widely publicized, I was going to pick up a pair of Timbs. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people feel like when they try to put that label on me with Timbs, they trying to do some weird stuff. Sometimes, some people. But the thing about it is, we're all men, and you find yourself in situations in life that you have to adjust to. If you can't adjust to the position you in or the position you're about to be in life, like, you need to have a vision and be able to see not only what you're in the middle of, but what you're about to be in the middle of.
Yeah.
People just get in the middle of stuff and they don't understand how they got there. They don't understand why they're there. I got there because I'm going there. Now, sometimes when you put your backpack on, and people be like, oh, yeah, he used to wear I got a backpack on today, though. It's a leather one from Maurice Salone. It's a custom joint from one of my people that made it, you know what I'm saying, when they was locked up in the feds, they made it by hand. It got alligator and caiman on it. It's all real leather, and to be honest with you, it's tighter than any Louis bag or Gucci bag that I ever seen, and it's a black-owned business.
That's what's up.
And so it's like, people want to sometimes be like, well, he used to have a backpack. But one thing that people didn't realize, when I had that backpack, if you know people that know me, it's not the backpack, it's what was in the backpack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I grew up on 16th in Alberta. If anybody knows anything about the real Portland, they know what 16th in Alberta is.
Yeah.
And so, like, there wasn't no books in my backpack.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say anything, but they can go check my history.
Yeah.
It's not me saying there wasn't no books. The people said it wasn't no books.
So that's one of the other things I've always thought was, I shouldn't say always thought. That's one of the other things I think is interesting is you have, like, your journey has, you have a way of telling your story without glorifying a lot of the negativity.
I don't think that when you in the middle of stuff, you don't always understand the connotations of negativities. Yeah. Like, you don't understand, like, when you get up every day and you live your life, you've made choices to live your life. You might get up every day and you go to a job, whether you like it or not, but to get up every day, you have to do certain stuff. You have to get yourself ready in the morning. You have to brush your teeth, eat. You might have to catch a bus to commute. You might have to drive. You might have to pay for parking. You have to put yourself in this mind state. And so, like, anything that I ever did, like, I don't regret anything I ever did. There's a couple things that I wish I would have did a little different, but I don't think that I regret it. I feel like I should have been more cognizant in the moment and seen the possibilities of the spinoffs. Because once you do something, it can spin off, your trajectory can change, and you can end up in a place just by like by the wind blowing. If you're on an ocean and you are sailing a boat, a yacht, or whatever, but you're sailing a boat and it's wind driven, if the direction of the wind changes 1/100th of anything, you could end up in a place far away than where you wanted to go. And you don't even always see. You can't always smell, taste, hear that the wind didn't change like that. People don't always feel it. They can't smell it. They can't understand that the wind changed. But when the winds of change, and you don't know it, you can end up in a place that you didn't plan on going. It's not that, most people don't understand journeys. They don't understand the things that happen on the journey. People only look at a journey and say, I'm about to put my backpack on, I'm about to hit the road, and I'm about to end up where I'm at. Because I'm going from A to B. Man, between A to B is A to Z.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen between A to B. You know a lot of people that lives have changed from going from A to B. A to B could be across the street to your job from your house on the 3rd floor to walk across the street and you get ran over in the morning. Facts. Your A to B then got toe up. And so, like, I feel like when it comes to, my life decisions, I don't glorify anything that's going to put you in a position that's not lucrative.
Yeah. So
it's hard for me to glorify, like, the things that were negative in my life are kind of like when you're looking for the cure for cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you're looking for the cure for cancer and you testing on animals, and even when you move to human patients, sometimes, a lot of times when things get tested, there's side effects or even death. Mm-hmm. Like, you watch these, commercials and they be like, oh, look out for the side effects. So you got a bloody nose 3 days a week and they give you a pill, and to stop the bloody nose, you're at risk of death.
Right.
So it's like, wait, I just want my bloody nose to stop, and I don't want to have to stuff tissue in my nose 3 times a week randomly in front of people.
Yeah.
But now I got to be concerned with dying in front of these people.
Right.
So now my nose won't bleed, but I'm going to be dead.
Yeah,
so it's like, I don't glorify the negative side about it, but I also, when you're in the middle of something, you also don't understand all the time the negative. It's not as bad as you think. It always looks worse to people that are watching you. It's like a boxing match. When you're in a boxing ring and you taking heavy shots, it's like you don't always understand that you getting beat to death.
Right.
But the crowd does.
Yeah.
The people on TV is watching you take them heavy shots.
Right.
And they're always like, oh, he went down.
Yeah.
Like when somebody gets knocked down, you like, oh, everybody starts yelling.
Mm-hmm.
But the person gets back up and people be like, oh, I can't believe he got back up.
Yeah.
But to the person in the middle of the situation, it might not be as bad as y'all think. Y'all seeing this person bloody, beat to death, and on the ground getting counted, but he jumps back up. And people are like, how'd he do that? Yeah. Because when you're in the midst of something, in the middle of the storm, a lot of times it doesn't feel the same as it does to the people that are actually watching the storm from the sidelines.
Right.
Like in Florida, those people in Florida, it killed a certain amount of people in that storm, and blessings go to the people in Florida. You know what I'm saying, and what they're going through right now. And the thing with it is, like, it seems way worse to us. But when you live there, like I seen a rapper, he was in the middle of the hurricane doing a video. He was like, I'm the first.
I seen that.
Yeah, right. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show you right there, his mental landscape is not allowing him to understand what he's truly in the middle of.
Right.
There's dead people from that hurricane already.
Yeah.
We talking 17, 20, 150, something like that.
Yeah.
And you want to go play.
Yeah.
And see, but that's the same thing with my life. Now, I know that all these things can occur from going in the kitchen. You can get burnt, cut yourself with a knife. You know what I'm saying? You can get food poisoning if you don't know what type of food you're cooking.
Right.
You can burn the food. You can catch the whole place on fire.
Yeah.
Now, I know this can happen, but every time you go in the kitchen, you don't be worried about that. Right. You're not worried about burning down your kitchen. But plenty of kitchens burn down all the time. You ain't worrying about the grease popping you until it pops you.
Right.
You done poured the grease in there, you cooking, it's sizzling, you cooking up stuff, and you're not scared of the grease.
Right.
Even when it pops you ain't scared. As soon as it hits you, burns you, leaves a little sizzle mark on you, you don't run out and say, I'm not cooking no more.
Right.
And that's the same thing with the type of stuff that I chose to do in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, I get hooked and booked.
Yeah.
I know some people that would change their life. That didn't. I got the grease pop my skin.
Right.
I'm not going to stop cooking.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I didn't stop cooking. But I don't glorify the tools you use to get to the meal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't glorify the hunting process to get to the meal, because that turns it turns most people's stomachs. If I tell people stories, and when I share stories with people about, the places and the things that I've seen and been through, it turns people's stomachs in a way where most people can't take it.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to be on this boat. They're going to catch, motion sickness from just seeing the boat.
Right.
They're not even going to leave the land. They don't even want to get on the boat.
Right.
As soon as they see it's a boat or somebody come and say, let's go get on the boat, bro, they start getting sick.
Right.
They don't want none of this, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because when the boat sinks, those people, they don't never have to worry about sinking.
Yeah.
But they also don't have action at making it to the promised land by getting on that boat. Now, every boat don't sail to the promised land.
Right.
Lots of boats end up in Davy Jones' locker.
Facts.
Yeah, some people don't even know what that is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, nobody ever speaks about that.
Yeah.
They give a small footnote to all the boats that get sunk. You know what I mean? But when you make it, you get, that's the whole purpose of risking getting your boat sunk, is to make it put your feet on land that you've never put your feet on before.
Let me ask you this. It's a little bit of a sidestep, because you said something that made me think about a question that I've had for years. When we think about this art form of hip hop, specifically rap music, and artists who, I think they feel like they do. I don't want to assume that they doing it just to flash, and artists are just telling all their business, putting all of their business out in the street. It wasn't always that way. You mean? Like, it feels like that's a generational thing in the last 15, 20 years, where artists just put all of their business out on the street, put all their business on record. And when you were making records at the time that you was living a different lifestyle, does that do you have any feelings about that? Like, why are people putting all of, and then gonna get mad when they get hooked up for stuff that they, like you said, like, you put it all out there?
I think that the place, I think what it is life is really about shock and awe.
Yeah.
And so it's like, at this point now, regular stuff, nobody is interested in that Reggie.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Reggie.
Yeah.
It's not even moving the meter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, as you move away from regular things that don't move people,
mm-hmm.
you have to gain people's attention. And so you have to do and say things that are going to make people, that are going to spark interest in you. It doesn't always mean that it's going to be positive or negative. See, the thing, interest, is there's a lot of artists that people have a negative interest in. They want to see them crash.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When you go to NASCAR, you go there to see cars drive fast.
You're right.
When you go to certain situations, you want to go to an amusement park, you want to go on, roller coaster rides.
Right.
Okay, so when people start talking about street stuff, especially,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, street politics and stuff that's not supposed to be spoken of, things
right.
that people have spent years and years actually hiding
mm-hmm.
and not saying,
mm-hmm.
and like, when you have a court case, your attorney tells you just don't say anything.
Right.
Well, the thing about it is, like, my attorney would always say to me, the thing about it is, you've never given an interview to those people. He said the reason, and I've had my attorney for 3 cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spent over $100,000 with him on them cases.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing he always tells me is, and he just took me out to dinner when I got, here the other night.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I took us to dinner because I was paying him some money I owed him. So really, you know what I'm saying, for a situation I needed him to handle.
Yeah.
So really, I was paying for dinner. Like I told him, he was like, man, we've been friends for a long time. I said, man, you're an expensive friend. I said, because I don't have friends, and I've given you dang near $150,000 to defend me.
Right.
Yeah, we friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We should be.
Yeah.
If I give somebody 150 bands, you know what I'm saying, they should be friends with me. And I don't even look for no friends. I don't even want friends. But if I didn't give you 150 bands, I expect something.
Yeah, we friends. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want no friends. I ain't got no friends.
Right.
But, it's a situation where I feel like people feel like they have to show you something. Like, it's just not good enough if you a certain type of person that people assume because you rap about certain stuff that you do certain things. Mm-hmm. It's like people want to make sure you know that they do it. So it's like, if people run around and say, well, you know what I'm saying, I'm a get in the streets and I stay busy, I keep, a tool and I work all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, people are going to want to see that. So it's like, it's not just good enough anymore saying, I keep my thing on me, you know what I mean, my pistol on me, and I ride around all day in my neighborhood and I do whatever I do.
Yeah.
People want to see it now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, now you have to show what you're saying. And showing certain things will get you disappeared. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, like, it's crazy because when these dudes when these guys or females or whoever human beings catch these cases,
yeah,
and they end up in court, the first thing they're concerned about is somebody telling on them,
right,
all the time. And they holler out, well, this person's a rat. Nobody likes somebody that gives information about another person that's not good.
Right.
So, like, if we up in here doing something,
right,
and then I go and I say some stuff, you're going to be like, what the hell is that? Like, nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they say, hey, man, no smoking tree in the studio.
Yeah.
And there's no cameras in here. Nobody would know, but we do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're on the line.
Yeah.
You on the linea for whatever happens in here.
Right.
You're responsible.
Right.
And then I decide to go tell the people here that you was smoking weed.
Yeah.
Now, this puts you in a position. See, people think that information is key all the time. And it is key. But there's a lot of information that's out there that's really important is hidden.
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, most of the millionaires and the billionaires, and they've said this for lots of years, they say if you want to hide something, put it in a book, especially about black people. They always said about black people. They act like black people can't read.
Right.
Now, obviously, you can tell by my conversation I read.
Yeah.
And I always have read, and I've read thousands and thousands and thousands of books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All types of books.
Yeah.
Any book you could name, I've read.
Yeah.
From political books, business books, comic books, Game of Thrones. I read all the Game of Thrones books before I came home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're all this thick.
Yeah.
They all this big. It's 10 or 11 of them. I read every single one of them.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I actually was interested to see those people.
Film.
I want to see the characters because
Right.
I know all the characters from reading them. I want to see it play out on the screen.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's the same thing when people tell you stuff on songs.
Yeah.
They want to see it play out. So when you say, hey, man, I ride a horse and I carry a sword around, people not only want to see you on the horse with the sword, they want to see what people do on horses with swords. Yeah. So now you got to ride your horse around the city and you got to stab somebody with a sword. Because if you don't stab them, you just one of a million people riding around with a horse with a sword. They want to actually see, are you different than all of the people? Yeah. So now you got to ride around on your horse with a sword and you got to start chopping off heads because you done said that's what you do. What do people do with horses and swords? They ride them and cut people's heads off. So why are you saying you a horseman with a sword on your side if that's not what you're doing? So then people want to see it.
Yeah, but I mean, when did it turn from telling the stories of I mean, and I guess it's just the progression of life, right? Where it went from telling the stories of what's happening to
being the stories of what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can only sit on the sideline for so long and talk about game experience. Mm-hmm. You know, nobody is going to listen to you when all they ever do is see you on the sideline with your helmet off.
Okay, no, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
They only want to hear from people that are in the game.
Right.
So they want to hear from the person that got tackled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear from the person that sat on the sideline and watched the people get tackled, even when you got a jersey on.
Right.
If you second string and you're not getting no time, they're not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
They're going to talk to the kicker before they talk to you. The kicker went in the game and kicked 3 field goals. He was in the total for 10 seconds in the whole game. They want to talk to him about the 3 field goals that he scored before they talk to you about sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
So people got that in their head and said, well, if I'm on the sideline, I might not get the type of attention, which people equate attention to record sales. Yeah. So now but this is the thing. If you go sell 1 million records because you run around saying, I'm going to do this and do that, when you actually do this and do that, because I feel like now, how music is, it's like these dudes don't understand. They running around here saying these spells and these connotations. Like, you know what I'm saying? These dudes is doing witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? And I know people are going to be like, oh, no, it's not witchcraft in that way, but it really is. It's the closest thing I can say to help people understand. When you sit up and you cast spells and you speak on certain stuff, it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These dudes is running around saying these violent incantations and these spells, and they weaving these webs, bruh. And if you go in the kitchen with steak, onions, and potatoes, bruh, you're probably going to come out with a steak dinner.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good the steak is cooked.
Right.
It's going to be a steak dinner, a potato, and some onions on there.
Right.
It don't matter if it's good or not.
Right.
But understand this. These people don't understand, like, they want to talk to you about the things you're saying. And people, say somebody gets robbed. And you're at the bus stop, and you mind your own business. They're going to want to talk to you because you was in the vicinity.
Right.
These people are saying they did it. They're saying they did the things.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're saying what it used to be is people would report from the bus stop.
Right.
You're reporting what you saw from the bus stop.
Right.
Now, you know what I'm saying? So you see somebody run up in the store and rob them across the street and they run out. Like, a lot of times you would, as a bystander, you would see it and you would tell your people, but you wouldn't necessarily run to the police and tell them.
Right.
The people who are running in the store now are coming out of the store and reporting themselves.
Yeah, rap snitches. The whole MF Doom situation, right? Telling on yourself. It's funny, bro. I just did I've been doing the Fire Fridays joint. It's the Fitness is a Habit piece, and that's the thing I just did on Friday is the power of words. And so when you say it's witchcraft, when you say it's incantation, yes, that is a real thing. People don't realize the power of their words. So that actually leads into a very interesting conversation. You've shared with folk that. The transition was a minute ago from everyone knew you as Kenny Mack to Mellenium, and as a part of that, we got to see the Church of Mellenium, bruh.
Okay, so this is the thing about Kenny Mack and Mellenium. If you go back on all my records, like I didn't just turn into Mellenium, I was him.
Okay.
I was King Cobra Kenny, Machine Gun Kenny before any Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got receipts on this stuff. This stuff is like, you know what I mean? Like, all this stuff. And so it's like, I didn't just turn into Mellenium. The reason, the transition, part of the transition, and I'm still Kenny Mack. Like, I just recorded some music for somebody the other day, in the beginning of the song, 2 days ago, I said Kenny Mack. And so, like, my relative heard it, and he was like, oh, Kenny Mack, huh? Or no, Crispy heard it.
Oh, okay, word. Shout out to Crispy. Yeah.
Crispy, and Crispy Hendrix was my brother. He say, he heard the 2 songs I recorded, and one of the songs at the beginning I say Mellenium, and then all of a sudden he's listening to the other song for somebody, and I said Kenny Mack at the beginning of the song, and I haven't said Kenny Mack on a song in like a long time.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about it is that I've always been Mellenium. I always been Kenny Mellenium. I always been Mellenium. People know that. They know. People who are close to me know that that's what it is. The reason why I switched from Kenny Mack is truthfully because I was locked up, and when I was doing my bid, my mom, we had a conversation one day, and she was talking about music, and she relates me doing music to me being in the streets. So she's like, you know, you be in the streets and you do music, and that stuff is connected to each other. So if you're doing music, she feels like I'm going to be immersed totally in the streets. And the thing about it is, like, you have to be around whatever you're talking about. Like you can't just keep talking about old stuff. Now, mind you, like, am I in the streets? Yeah, I'm in the streets every single day. But I'm not in the streets in the capacity of what people think. But I'm out all the time. Like I'm in the strip clubs all the time. That's the streets. All the street niggas is in the strip club. I'm in the parking lot of these clubs. All the street niggas is in the parking lots. Like, I'm immersed in the street life. I like being out at night. I like going to the club. I like being in strip clubs. I like, you know, doing the artist thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though being an artist is just a small part of what I really am. The artistry is like a tool on my tool belt. It's like Batman got all them things on his tool belt. Like, I'm not a total artist. Like, it's like if I don't want to be an artist, I don't have to be, even though you always are one, because when you're an artist, you create things. And I create so many different things, I work in so many different avenues of creation that it's like I'm going to always be some sort of artist. I'm always going to be bringing something to life, and I'm always going to be bringing something to the light. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I feel like as far as that goes, that's just another level of artistry with other names, because people know me by other names. It's just like, you know, it's just like, you know, people's religion. They know there's a lot of different gods out there, and they have a lot of different names. But, you know, to a lot of people, they just look at their God as who he or she might be. Yeah. But there's so many different names, and all the names are related to the same type of thing. You know, everybody has a different God that they pray to, and when you ask one person, their God might be this name, or their God might be that name, and, you know, I'm not anybody to say, your God is not nobody because his name ain't this. Right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I wouldn't want nobody telling me, you know what I'm saying, what I believe in ain't nothing, because if you tell me what I believe in isn't nothing, it doesn't matter. I've been through too many things that most human beings will never go through, and I know the truth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your truth is what you do. Yeah. Its truth is how you breathe, is how you live. And so, like, as far as the Church of Mellenium goes, now that is like, that's new. Yeah. Now the Church of Mellenium is new. I'll give you that. That's new. Now it's a few years old, but it's new as far as to people. Yeah. And it's like, one day I was just sitting there thinking about it, and like, I live my life religiously. So by definition of, if you look in a book and you look up religion and religiously, people follow these things. Well, I follow my own path that I set. I don't really ask people to follow me, but I do understand when you're doing things that people admire or see value in, they will follow. And so like honestly, like I feel like in my head, I hope people don't get mad at me for this. I really don't care, but like I'm a cult leader, and so with a K though, and so
with a K,
yeah, with a K. Like I got hoodies that say cult leader on them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to put the hoodies out that say cult leader with K's on them. But the thing about it is, and I know a lot of people, you know, when they think of the word cult leader, they think of, you know, Jim Jones and all these, you know, the Rajneesh, and, you know what I'm saying, and all these different, the Bhagwan, all these different people. And see, the thing about a cult leader is, technically the word cult leader is not a bad thing. Okay. If you look in the definition, it's not a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, the Christians were a cult. You know what I'm saying? Caesar and them they were supposed to kill all Christians when they seen them because they were a cult. Right. There was about 15 of them. You know what I'm saying? Back then in Rome, and it was a law that if you caught them practicing or you thought they were them, you give them the sword. Right. There was only about 15 of them that they were looking for at the time, you know what I'm saying? But they were aware of who they were, and it was known if you catch them, heads off. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand now, Christianity is one of the biggest top 2 followings in the world. But it started off with 5 or 10 people. You see what I'm saying?
Just the followers of Jesus. Like they were, 100%. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. But like I tell people, have you ever seen, like, especially Christians or anybody, have you ever, like, okay, so like, in my, like I tell people all the time, I'm God. And a lot of people be like, no, you're not God. But the thing about it is, have you ever, for somebody to tell me that I'm not God, now I don't mean I'm God, the God that they write about that says he did all this stuff that nobody saw. Has anybody ever seen a picture of God? So when females say, you're not God, I say, how do you know? Have you ever seen a picture of him? And they say no. And I say, well, how you know when you find it, when they say, well, this is a picture of God, that it ain't my picture? And people can't argue that. I mean, common sense, you can't argue that because you ain't never seen a picture of any God. Right. They don't really show you a picture that you can say, oh, that's what he looked like. Even if somebody says they saw a picture of a deity or a God type person, it's from their imagination. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have anything tangible to go on. Yeah. Like I know they say God is good, and I don't doubt that he's good. I'm not saying he's not. But have you ever seen him do the goodness with your own 2 eyes? I believe none of what I hear and half of what I see.
And it truly is. Nowadays, especially, it's a very good philosophy to. But that's. I mean, we've been saying that for years, right?
We have.
Yeah.
They have not.
Right.
They have put everything in a basket and put all their beliefs and all their trust in something that they've never seen. Right. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's just, for me, I want to put my trust in something, my loyalty and my trust into something that's tangible I can touch. Okay. Because when I was sitting in that cage for 11 years, in a 6x8, a little bit bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? When I was in that cage, I knew what was what. You can pray to whoever you want to pray in there. You know, one thing I noticed about religion that straightened me out, there was a few incidents about other people's religions, because everybody has different religion. Everybody has different beliefs. I'm not knocking nobody. Right. But I do notice that people don't always want to hear what I have to say. And I'm not out on no soapbox. Right. But because people follow me and I do talk about stuff, like people, you know, they listen to my music, they see me speak, they're going to get doses of stuff, because whatever you believe is going to come out of your mouth. It's going to come out in action. It's going to come out, you know what I'm saying, in the things that you do. It's like painting, like our lives are paintings. Like every single day we wake up and get blessed to open our eyes, we get up and we got a brush in our hand. And we get to painting some more stuff. We painting these paths. We on a path. And every day is a wall where you got to add to what you've already been painting, or you got to put something on a wall new and get something started. Yeah. And so it's like with the Church of Mellenium, I think it's because I have an amount of followers. I have direct followers and members of the church, and then I have the people that are indirect followers. Like it's no other males are in the Church of Mellenium. They're not in the church. It's female denomination, except for the leader. So But like I tell people all the time, they hit me and like, bro, I'm trying to follow the church. I say, well, be a member of the church. I say, well, you could be a member, but you can follow my teachings, but you can't. I know this sounds hella crazy, but it's music. When you get in a microphone and you say things, you are teaching people stuff, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
It's information. Yeah. People take information and they use it to sharpen their understandings. Mm-hmm. So it's like I say, it's kind of crazy because people probably think, man, this nigga crazy. But the thing about it is, I'm no crazier than anybody else, you know what I'm saying, that had a belief system, put it forward, and applied it to a situation to work for them.
So let me ask you this. Is it the phrasing and the terminology that we are familiar with as a society that you call it the Church of Mellenium and that you refer to yourself as God? Because I think that's the only thing that people are going to feel some kind of way about.
I know, but I feel some way about them not being God.
Okay. Expound on that.
Okay, so number one, we black. We the first everything. Mm-hmm. Everything comes from us right now. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that you can look at in society that's not influenced by black people. Mm-hmm. They appropriate everything from us, resell it back to us. The only thing they don't do is be black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody wants, we cuss, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a nigga, but but nobody wants to be a nigger.
Right.
So when every other race is busy being niggas, until they get pulled over and the police got the gun on the hand on the holster and they talking about, get out of the car. Right. Then they like, I'm not a nigger.
Right.
No.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't get that. When they get behind my car, not only am I a nigger, I'm a famous nigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm the nigga that got all these charges on his stuff. I'm the nigga that is known for certain types of things, so they're going to approach me a certain way.
Right.
These people are niggas because they play rap music. Yeah. They want to be known as niggas because they listen to a genre of music.
Right.
You listen to a genre of music from a race of people that were enslaved, and now you want to be that. But you didn't want to be on that boat.
Right.
You didn't want none of that boat.
Right.
When your uncles and your grandfathers and your people had us on them boats,
right.
You know what I'm saying? They had all the niggers rallied up, gallied up.
Yeah.
None of y'all wanted to be us.
Yeah.
Now, they done got all the whipping out and the killings and stuff, and they done killed so many of us. Now it's okay to dip your toe in the nigger pool.
Dude, so stupid.
But listen, nobody's even going to the nigger pool.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a whole bunch of, and listen, when a nigga try to go to the pool that's cool for him, he be in line.
Yeah.
All the other races is already sitting in the pool by the poolside. Ain't one seat for a nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But boy, when it turns to NIGGR, everybody runs out of the place and you the only nigga standing there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you're correct. Okay, so terminology puts people in mind frames.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm God, people automatically go to one place.
Right.
But number one, I'm a Nigerian God first and foremost. And a lot of people don't know that I'm Nigerian. Mm-hmm. Even my Nigerian brothers, they love me to death when they find I'm Nigerian because I'm not your typical what you think a Nigerian looks like. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when I be in Houston and somebody be like, this our brother, he a Nigerian. The Nigerians be like, no. They be like, yeah. They be like, nigga, that's not your brother, man.
Yeah.
He ain't no Nigerian. I be like, yeah, I am. Once they find out I'm Nigerian, I'm in.
Yeah.
They like, man, they can't believe that they got me too.
Yeah.
They like, oh, this is our brother, and they got, you know what I'm saying? They like, this is our brother. He's our Nigerian brother. Mm-hmm. They be more excited than I do.
Yeah.
Because we don't got no Nigerian community in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never been out and seen no Nigerian community. Now, mind you, I'm not in totally all-out touch with my Nigerian backgrounds. It's not even none of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just have a good understanding in the last 2 or 3 years for this.
Yeah.
But prior to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't in touch with my background. I didn't even really pay much attention to my background because your background is only good for right now. Mm-hmm. When somebody asks you for your ID don't really say you Nigerian.
Right.
It say you black.
Right.
I'm African American on there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when you hear people say these things, like, okay, like certain words are hot button words, they're trigger words.
Yeah.
And so like people don't, and then, most people don't want me to be any type of God. They don't want me to be a God.
Yeah.
Because most of them people don't see themselves in a godly light. Mm-hmm. And they're not going after the type of fruits that the gods eat. Mm-hmm. I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People want to be kings, but I'm the king slayer. I've been standing on kings my whole life. I've been chopping kings' heads off my whole life. I don't want to be no king.
Yeah.
And a king is like a weird word that society has used now for black people to put us in this. It's like this weird thing where black people be like, hey, what's up, king? Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, a lot of you is jokers. Yeah. It's like women. I see women all the time. They be like, this is my young prince and my young king. Mm-hmm. Look, man, that little nigga's a joker, man. Stop it, man. You're not carrying yourself, and you're not putting this person through the regiments to be a king. You putting this person, look, we got a lot of jokers in the community.
Yeah.
All those girls and women was talking about these as they young kings. Everybody ain't no young king. Everybody ain't finna sit on the throne. Everybody's not throne worthy.
Yeah.
Some people are just jokers, man. They there for the amusement of us. Now, when it comes to Church Mellenium, I just feel like that's the people that be around me. I feel like the church is a place where people come to get understanding. When people come mess with me, they coming into my church. When they hear me talk, when they, like right now, this is a sermon. Like the church is rocking and rolling right now. You know what I'm saying? It's open, the lights is on, everything going on. You know what I'm saying? We got cookies downstairs. You know what I'm saying? We got all the stuff, man, in the church. But see, you know, you go to some, I've been to churches my whole life, and some of the most crooked people hang out in them churches.
Facts.
And not just that I kind of think it, I've been, they've done it to me.
Yeah.
Bishops lied, pastors lied, blatant all out lies. When I was a kid, lied on me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that changed my vision of those people's church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a million churches in this world.
Yeah.
And they all choose to do different things with them. None of them pay taxes, which is cool. I'm not against that.
Right.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to understand and get into a mind state. So when I talk about the Church of Mellenium, it's just basically a place that people can come to and get information. And it's a place where the people that are close to me, you know what I'm saying, this is where we reside at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a, you know, wherever I'm at, that's where the church is at. Whenever, like right now, the church is here in Portland. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just like any other church. Yeah. All the other churches get on TV and they, you know, pass the tray around.
Right.
In Houston, I live 2 blocks away from Joel Osteen's church, from his super church.
Yeah.
Now, this dude, when they had the floodings, he wouldn't even let nobody stay in his mansion, bruh. Yeah. Now, this church that he has is a super church that I pass every day of my life right now for the last 4.5 years. I literally are 2 blocks away. One of my houses is 2 blocks away. Yeah. This dude wouldn't let nobody stay in his joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just found $180,000 in a wall in the bathroom there. A plumber found it. I know you heard about it. Who would have access to put the money behind the wall and then not go get it?
Yeah.
Okay. If we find $1 million in your house behind the wall and you've been living there for 30 years, and the money is new money. Yeah. This ain't no old money.
Right.
This is money that the serial numbers was printed off 15 years after you've been living in this house.
Right.
Who put that money there?
Yeah. No, I get you, bro.
You know why the money's still there?
Yeah.
Because you put it there.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why it's still there. Because you put it there and you didn't take it out.
Yeah.
That's why. Now a plumber went there. Me myself, I would have took that whole $180,000. As soon as I was the plumber and I seen it, I would have stuffed it in my bag and I would have left.
Yeah.
Took the money somewhere, came back and finished the job. That's just me. Some people feel a way about that.
Yeah.
There was checks in there that had dates on them.
Yeah.
So they know when that stash was taken.
Right.
So, and who put it behind the wall? Somebody did some work.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody in their right mind who knows there's $180,000 behind the wall wouldn't take it out. Unless you don't need it, unless you ain't worried about it, unless you're getting lots of money.
Yeah.
There's only a few people.
Yeah.
So when I seen him, and I lived in Houston, or I had just moved to Houston a little bit after that.
After the flooding.
After the flooding.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let anybody stay in his mansion, none of that. That's what was above water.
Yeah.
Bro, these people bought the mansion. It's like, that's what I'm saying. So these are y'all churches. Now, my church don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a mansion for all my people to stay in. But my members of the church, which is basically, I got 3 members in my church besides myself. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, man. I was in Houston when they had that freeze, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
And all the power went out.
I remember that.
Yeah, the church members were with me.
Yeah.
Who you think was in the streets when all the lights was out in the buildings when it was dark and nobody was out there?
Yeah.
And it was cold.
Yeah.
My church members were with me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was on the streets. Homeless people was dying. I seen dead people.
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm in the streets having to be outside, in the car, moving around. Nobody's out there with my church members. Bruh, my church members are with me.
Yeah.
Whether it's 3 of them or 3 million of them.
Yeah.
They all gonna be with me. And I know people probably think I'm crazy for the way I talk. But the thing is, I think it's crazy that people don't talk a certain way.
Yeah. It's interesting, bro. It's really, really interesting, man. It's really interesting because being a man of faith, coming up in the church, understanding the fact that we as human beings have gifted power to people who are in positions of leadership, pastors, who minister, whatever, and giving them greater power than, and being a man of faith, I would say, giving them greater power than the Creator. And that's who they're supposed to lead us to. You know, that's on us. That's on us to not hold people accountable, right?
No doubt.
I guess the thing that I can appreciate is that you're being very forthright and open with what you are, the way that you're lit. And it goes back to what I said earlier in the conversation. You have just been consistently who you are. This is an extension of that consistency. And how can you not appreciate? Man, just be open, just be honest, just be like.
That's all people want, but they don't want the truth.
Right. They want their truth.
They want
what they want to hear.
But the thing is, people don't want the truth. People need the honest truth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the version of the truth that everybody gets. And so even that's my name. It says it right there.
Yeah.
The truth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's another one of my names that I've been called for 10, 12, 15 years, the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are all names that people have coined because I run into different types of people that see me a certain way. So like all my names came from people in the street. Mm-hmm. I never made up any of my names. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I never sat there and coined a name for myself. Mm-hmm. They came from other people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And some of the names, I got a few names that were jokes. Mm-hmm. Like we sitting around and it's a joke, but it ended up sounding like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there was situations where stuff came and there's real life issues and situations where you get your monikers from. Mm-hmm. And so like one thing I notice about people, and I live my life a certain way, and a lot of people refuse to live their life in the way that they want to because other people tell them they can't. Yeah. And so like you end up in this position of feebleness in your own life. And like we do put people on pedestals. We do. I just can't put nobody on a pedestal because I've been in positions where the people that you put on pedestals in life are supposed to throw a hand down because you done pushed them up in that position. Right. But a lot of times when you end up in a position, I'm not even trying to be on the pedestal with you, but I done put you on a pedestal, and now I can't even be under the pedestal with you, where the water's not. Right. You leaving me to drown. Right. And I done put you not only on top of the pedestal, you know what I'm saying, but in a position where you don't even got to come back and help me. And so I think that people's belief systems have been skewed. Now, I don't never get into religious talks with people because, you know, people's religion is theirs. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that I want people to understand. Yeah. Right. And so, like, my conversations when I talk about the church aren't even so much about religion. Right. It's like that. If anybody who gets stuck on that, it just doesn't want to hear what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, the church Mellenium is catchy, bro. Like, when people hear that, like, this is the thing. I was in Houston about a year ago, and I changed my number. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I called my guy. He got a radio station out there. He's an artist. He's signed to Swisher House. Like, he has a long history in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Houston music scene. And I got some songs with him. And so he goes, so I call him one day to give him my new number because he has a radio show out there, and he plays my joint on the radio all the time. And I say, what up, bro? He's like, who this? I say, bro, it's the church. He said, oh, what's up, Melanie? So you got to understand, like, if I call people and I be like, hey, and they don't know my number, there's a giant percentage of people, not as big as I want, but there's a giant percent of people that be like, they know when I say this the church. Yeah. Or if some of my people call me, some of my niggas call me and they be like, bro, like when I call niggas, they be like, church, what's up? So it's like, people don't understand. They just want to go straight to the Latter-day Saints. Yeah. They want to go to the Christians. They want to go to the Muslims. Right. The church is a place where people go to, by definition, it's a place where people go to celebrate. They go to get the word. They go to manifest things. They go to powwow with people of like-minded stuff. You know what I'm saying? They go for support. Right. But see, by definition, the church is a building or a place or a belief. But the truth of the matter is, a congregation or people who believe somewhere, they could be on a piece of dirt, a dirt plot.
Right.
And it could still be the church, but some kind of way somebody figured you got to build churches now.
Amen.
And they have to look a certain way, and they have to be funded, and people have to have a certain level of money, and there have to be the plates when you sip the wine and the trays where you get the bread.
It was never intended to be that. It was never intended to be that.
They got to be on gold platters and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But, you know, the wine and the bread, bro, was given to people because they ain't had nothing.
Exactly.
So before we put it on a gold plate and in a gold goblet,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Feed the people.
Bro, we need to sell those,
Yeah.
make some money,
Yes.
and get some food,
Come
some
on.
more food.
Say that.
Bro, they
Yeah.
came from fish
Yeah.
and water.
Right.
And, bro, if we had gold plates and gold glasses, we don't need
Come on.
nobody to come and give us. We're going to sell these gold plates and glasses for some money, and we're going to both buy some stuff.
Come on. Yeah.
So how is it that the gold plates and the gold cups have superseded the meal?
Facts.
They don't want none. They don't want none, bro. I still, you know what I'm saying? They
No,
don't want none of that.
I feel you.
They don't want none of that.
But I can appreciate the fact that, because I think it's important and valuable to break it down for people, because people will have questions. I had questions, and so that's why I asked. Now let me ask you this, because you said this a minute ago. You talked about being an artist and being a creative, and like throughout your process, it's been something that you've done, and so. One of the things that I love about social media is having an opportunity to just stay connected with people, you know, that you don't get to talk to on a regular basis. And I saw, I don't remember how many months ago, but I saw that you were posting videos of breaking out just a blank canvas, and you were doing all of these art pieces. I was like, yo, that's dope. But again, creating, right? You were just, and that's what I saw it as. Is just, this is a new creative outlet for you. And then some months after I saw that, I saw you in a spot where you were like hanging a joint on the wall, and I was like, oh, I get it now. So you have continued on this business pathway that, when I look at your things that you've done in your life, I realize a lot of it was business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're in a business where you are. I mean, you've talked about it on social, so I know I can say this. You have some spaces that people can come in if they come through Houston, places where people can come and stay.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Okay, so, as far as the painting goes, I've been painting for maybe 8 months,
Okay.
9 months,
Okay.
somewhere in there, maybe a year tops, but
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I had moved to a different location, and it had a 2-car garage, and part of the garage is my workshop. So I know that I just renewed the lease there, so I know that it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't quite a year, but we'll say a year. I've been paying for a year.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting there, and one of my chicks, she's an artist. She paints and stuff, but she doesn't do it a lot. But she was bored during the pandemic, and she was like, man, she started a soap company. She does men's soaps and stuff.
Wow.
Oh, they the best too. Like, I use them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, it's the best soap I ever used in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it because she did it. Like, I have to have it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'd be like, bro, you got my you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she makes these men bars, and it's like, bro, they just. I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's like so refreshing. But so she was being real creative, and I've always been creative. Well, she paints, but she doesn't do it a lot, and she draws, but she doesn't do it a lot.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I think I'm gonna start painting stuff again. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm all right, that's cool. And so I'm like, you want me to take you to go get some stuff? She's like, yeah, let's go look at some stuff. So we go to I think we went to like the arts and crafts store, and then like Michael's and Hobby Lobby. But we went to the 99-cent store, which is or the Dollar Tree, which is now the $1.25 tree.
Isn't that crazy, bro?
Yeah, that's
They ain't gonna change the name. You know they ain't gonna change the name.
Man, somebody needs to get man, I want my quarters back. I'm ready to put a lawsuit on y'all. Just like 24-hour fitness ain't open 24 hours.
No more, right.
This is 20-hour fitness.
Right.
I come in by 3 in the morning, they like, oh, since the pandemic, we don't do 24. I'm paying for 24-hour fitness, man. And you cats is offering me 20.
Right.
I'm going to need some of my 4 hours back.
Right.
So we go to the 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, and I go get 10 canvases. The canvas is about big as your hand. You know what I mean? And I say, okay, cool. I wanna, try it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wanna try it too. Like, you gonna paint? We went and bought a table, you know what I'm saying? A picnic table, a work table.
Yeah.
And went and bought stuff and started, little stuff that sparked our interest.
Yeah.
And we started painting. Now, I kind of hog up the space. So, like, I was painting more than her because I be taking up the space. I always got something. But I started out with these little canvases that are no bigger than your hand.
Yeah.
And I painted about 6 or 7 of them just practicing.
Yeah.
Before I moved up to a bigger size.
Yeah.
Then I moved up to a bigger size. And, like, a lot of my early paintings, like, people really like them. But I don't even make those type of paintings. Now, mind you, when I say I do art, I don't do portraits.
No.
I don't do portraits. That's not my type of art.
Right.
I don't see art in that way.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, a lot of dope artists that do whatever their art is.
Yeah.
And I can't fuck with them in no way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
When I see they art, because on Instagram, the algorithm puts art on my shit because I have art on my shit.
Right.
And so it's like when I see other people's art, I be blown away by the stuff people do.
Yeah.
Even like it's some artists out here. I went by their gallery of some people I'm cool with a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And the stuff they do, I'm just sitting in their gallery looking at this stuff, and I'm like, dang, this stuff is lit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could do this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the thing about it is these same artists, and I've understood this, I garner attention from artists too that do the type of art that I wish I could do. They look at my art and say, man, like you, like, how do you do that? See, because my art is a certain type of art is mine, and I do it a certain way, and people can see that it's done a certain way. Like we see their process, but can't see what goes into it.
Right.
They see mine, and they admire mine on the same level as I admire theirs, which just blows my mind because I'm
dope.
like, what I do doesn't seem like it's that,
Yeah.
but to other people it is.
Yeah.
And so like I just started doing art, and I just moved up until the biggest piece I've done is a 48 by 60. And those are the pieces you see me hanging on the wall. And I've done a couple of those, but I've done like 36 by 48s. Like those are all big pieces.
Yeah.
And so it's like I started making pieces, and it's like I had the big boards that are dang near as tall as me, but it's like I was spooked because I don't want to mess them up. So before I take the plastic off one of these boards, because these boards cost.
Yeah.
These boards ain't cheap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But before I take the plastic off of one and I just start putting paint on something, I need to have a direction. But the thing about my artistry is I never have a direction. I might pick some colors, but I don't have a direction past that.
Yeah.
So like as I go along, I do stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I mess up a board 5, 6, 7 times before I and I always get what I want.
Right.
I don't never not get what I want.
Right.
Sooner or later, any paintings that people see that people admire of mine, most of those I messed up 2 or 3 times and redid the whole board.
Yeah.
And sometimes redoing the board is part of the art.
And some of the greatest, the most celebrated artists now we know, just with the technology that we have, when they go and they look at the art and they go, yo, there's like a whole nother art piece underneath this piece that we've been looking at for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And never knew.
Right.
Because people look at art, and art is subjective, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like I make stuff and I actually see stuff in my art, and then other people will see stuff in my art that I just can't see.
Yeah.
Somebody be like, you don't see the lady right there with her face?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And they're like, right there, look, I'm showing you. This is the lady with her face. Her hair and her ponytail is coming back.
Yeah.
That's her nose, there are her eyes, and there's her feet. Because I have a painting at home, and one of my chicks, she sees this lady in the painting.
Yeah.
And I just can't see it.
Yeah.
And she's asked me 3 or 4 times, hey, do you see her yet? And I'm like, no.
And you created it.
I created it. I can't see it.
Yeah.
But there's a rhinoceros in the painting. There's a butterfly in the painting. There's somebody with an Asian hat on with a painting.
Yeah.
There's a baby foot in the painting. There's
That's random. You realize it's so random.
Bruh, yeah, she pointed out the baby foot. But there's so many things in the painting. Like it's like these things are in the painting, and I didn't paint none of those things in there.
Yeah.
I ain't paint no baby foot in there.
Yeah.
I ain't paint no rhinoceros in there.
Yeah,
I ain't paint no butterfly that's also a half of the butterfly is a person with an Asian hat on. I ain't painting none of that.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I just practice my way up. And when I tell people I've been doing the art for a year, even when I was telling people I've only done art for like 8 months, and I don't do it every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I just been like, oh, I'm doing it every day.
On and on.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for a year, but I probably only did it for about 3 months worth of actual hours.
Right.
And so it's like when I tell people, they blown away because the level that they think I'm on in their heads is past somebody that's been doing it for a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, and I work with stones, like 65-pound stones, you know what I'm saying, that I do my art on and canvases. So it's like I do a lot of stuff that I've never seen. Like, I don't do stuff that I've seen. I actually do stuff that I've never seen.
Yeah.
The stuff that comes in my head is not stuff that's inspired by taking somebody else's art and putting my twist on it.
Right.
It's stuff that I do that I've never, ever seen. That other artists hit me and be like, bro, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I do stuff like, I have a Kobe Bryant piece, you know what I'm saying, for when he passed away. I have a Free Larry Hoover piece that I made. Yeah. I have a piece that I made for Goldie the Pimp from the Mac. Like, these are pieces that are hanging up that when Max Julian died, the actor that played the Goldie the Pimp in the Mac movie, when he died, something came into my body and I made a piece that's made out of gold.
Yeah.
It's all gold. It has other colors in it, but I understood this is that piece.
Yeah.
And it's hanging in one of my condos. And this is the Goldie the Mac piece. You know what I'm saying? When Kobe died, something came into me. I made the Black Mamba piece out of snakeskin.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? It's hanging in one of my Airbnbs.
Yeah.
It's just a gigantic board with none but black snakeskin. You know what I'm saying? It's a 36 by 48.
Yeah.
Then I got the Free Larry Hoover piece, which is hanging next to the Kobe Bryant piece in my Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's the black. It's called the Black Series.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll show it to you in a minute. But it's like I have weird stuff in my head that people don't understand, and so it's like. And I didn't go make some piece for these people. I just made the piece at the time when things were going on. And then I'm like, dang, they was really sweating trying to get Larry Hoover out.
Right.
Like about 6 months ago, like, you know, or a year ago, like Kanye and all these people was trying to come together trying to get this black man home.
Right.
And during that time, some kind of way, hearing it was going on, it inspired me to make this black piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, dang, that's the Free Larry Hoover piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like these things come to my brain. When Kobe crashed, it made me think of that, and then I made the Kobe Bryant piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he died, how long ago? Is that a couple years now?
At least.
Okay, so I actually didn't make it when he passed. I actually was working with materials, and then I made it, and I'm like, dang. This like the Black Mamba.
Right.
And I'm like, well, this is the dedication piece, I guess. And I'm not a Laker fan,
right.
but I'm a fan of Kobe Bryant.
As a person?
I'm not even as a person.
No.
It's not so much as a person. I admire, like, I'm a Blazers fan. And so, like, I don't hate any team. I hate the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I hate the Cowboys. I don't hate any team. And somebody asked me the other day, because I have words. I'm a sports fan, but I'm not going to get into no fight or argument with nobody about no sports.
Right.
Like, this my team, bro. Right. I fuck with them. That's it. Yeah. The Cowboys, whatever team is your team.
Right.
Like, Dak, they starting quarterback got hurt, and they was like, oh, you probably happy. And I said, yeah, but I said, wait, let me back it up. I know Dak Prescott's story. I studied him. He's a young black quarterback. I know where he came from. His mom passed away. Like, he went to Texas A&M. He had a hard life. He put it together and put himself in position. Yeah. I respect that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Anytime something happens to the Dallas Cowboys as an organization, Anglo-Saxon owned organization that don't really care about no black people, and that's no big deal to me.
Right,
that's basically the whole world.
Right.
Like, I'm happy when they are out of position and can't win.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a person like Dak Prescott get hurt and he's out. You know what I'm saying? He can't play and he's gonna lose his career.
Right.
I want him to get his money.
Right.
I want when Greg Oden got drafted to Portland and he didn't play any games. Yeah. I remember when he first got drafted, he was on my stage set at the Roseland. Oh, and I turned around and I said to him, I said, nigga, you play for me now. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody was mad at him because he never really produced. And we picked him over Kevin Durant. Right. And people starts looking at that. Right. But the thing about it is I'm not mad that he got all that money and didn't play.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I told somebody this last night and they didn't understand this. People be like, well, he didn't earn that money. Look, man, y'all paid that man for being fostered into this position. You paid him for all the years that he didn't get paid. Mm-hmm. You paid so he can go give his family houses and homes and take care of his family. Right. Because most athletes' families are in poverty. Mm-hmm. There's a giant percentage, double figure percentage, even if it's only 17%. That's double figures. But we probably talking 85% of the athletes that are in professional sports. If you go back in their history, they have poverty in their history. Right. And this person, this athlete, they brought financial stability to their family, whether or not they blow it or not. Right. When you give somebody $100 million and then they don't never play, so what? You paid for all the times they ain't had no money, for all the times they mom paid gas money. You in debt. They get these athletes and they think, well, we going to give you this money. You owe us for this. Nah, man, y'all owe me for all the fostering my parents did. I owe these people. Right. They put me in position, kept me safe, fed me, went to work, burnt gas, burnt their own personal time, sacrifice. I got to pay these people back. Right. I'm in debt. Right. You're not finna get me coming over here and then say you pay me for a job that I'm going to do. You got to pay me for the jobs I did.
I've never heard it phrased quite that way.
Never have you.
That's pretty dope.
And somebody said all the athletes are gonna fuck with you on that. I said, bro, it's not for them to fuck with me on that. This is the truth. Yeah. Bro, you owe me for everything I did to put myself in position so that you would want me to work for you. I want to be paid for everything, for every journey, every road, every brick that I had to walk barefoot to get to the place where somebody said, I'm going to give you a pair of shoes at. Bro, you owe me that. You see what I'm saying? So when they don't play and they be hurt, I'll be like, bro, that's part of the stuff, man.
Well, I mean, and, you know, the thing with Greg that's tough is it's not as if he didn't. I mean, the man's body broke down.
He didn't quit.
The man. One of the reasons he wasn't able to play is because he pushed so hard.
The nigga's a 7-foot human being, bro. There's not a lot of 7 feet human beings on this planet. When you say how me and you go and do, I'm 6'2", so I'm way above the average, of 5'10", 5'11", man.
Right.
But when you sit there and you say, this dude is 7 foot, his height doesn't allow him to do certain things that me and you can do as easily. Right. But just like his height he can't do certain things that we can do, he can do certain things we can't do from that height.
100%.
He don't even jump off the ground, he can dunk a ball. Right. You see what I'm saying? He was gifted, and it's the gift and the curse.
And people never talk about the fact that when he was in college, dude had the fracture in his hand, taught himself how to shoot with his offhand. Yeah. So it's not that he didn't have the work ethic.
No, he had it.
I just and I get it. We're human beings, and human beings. I don't really like human beings.
Me neither.
And but that's what we do, right? I was talking to my friend yesterday, and they were just talking about Russ Wilson, and went back to Seattle, and everybody was booing him, and this, that, and the third. It's like, people, like, these are human beings, man. Like, stop. Anyway,
they forgot that championship.
They forgot it. They forgot that Super Bowl.
They forgot it. How?
You know what I'm saying?
How? Because y'all run around all damn day trying to get back to a place that somebody took you, and now you ain't grateful for the person that took you there.
Say that.
He's the only person that took y'all.
Exactly.
And y'all done lost respect for him? Because that team got rid of him?
Right. And that's the thing. And that's the thing my partner was saying. Like, the Seahawks traded Russ.
He didn't. That man never came out. You never heard him come out and say, I want to trade and go to war against the team and force his way out of town. He ain't do that.
Well, and then to have conversations with people who are on the inside, you start realizing that, this wasn't the team just decided to trade him last season.
They've been trying to their best interest for the next few years. They've been trying to trade him
for 4 years, bro.
Yeah, because they're looking out for their own best interest and what people call the future.
Right.
I don't believe in the future or the past. Yeah. I believe in a saying called right now.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
Because the truth of the matter is, what people call the future is about to come in 1, 2, 3. We're in the future now.
Right.
But going from where we just went to from 3 seconds ago into the future, nigga, really, that's right now.
Yeah.
And right now is right now.
Right.
And right now is right now.
Right.
So what people call the future is really only right now.
Yeah.
And what people call the past was right now.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I only believe in right now.
In the now.
In the now. There's no past, no present.
Right.
You did whatever you did in that now.
And the truth of the matter is, bro, worrying about it, and I say this so I hear myself say it to remind myself, worrying about it ain't gonna make it ain't gonna help you at all. You know what I'm saying? And again, as a man of faith, I believe that we've been taught tomorrow's not promised, but don't worry about tomorrow. I got you. All right, bet. I'm gonna deal with the now.
Listen, when people are too stressed out and concerned about certain types of stuff, it becomes a hindrance to the now.
Yeah.
So now the one roadblock that you got to deal with then turned into 2 or 3.
Right. That you may not be able to do anything about anyway.
That you can't deal with now.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
You might got a hammer, and you got a giant boulder in the road, and you got to break this thing down.
Yeah.
But being concerned about it turns it into 3 boulders in the road. Mm-hmm. You might not got a hammer that got 3 boulders in it.
Yeah.
Your hammer might only got 1 boulder in there.
Facts.
And you didn't broke through the first boulder that you can't do nothing about.
Right.
But now you can't break down the other 2 boulders that you put there yourself.
And now you just stressed.
Now you're gonna add 3 more boulders.
Right.
And you done broke the first hammer on the first boulder that was a singular issue.
Right.
But we do that. We weigh ourselves down.
Yes.
And we allow other people, because we share our predicaments of life, to weigh us down.
Yeah.
So when you tell somebody, bruh, you call somebody and say, hey, man, I'm stuck. It's a boulder in the road. The first thing they start, oh, man, you're fucked. It's like, bruh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I didn't need help with that.
To say, no. I need you to say, I need a nigga to say, you got your hammer on you? Yeah, I got my hammer.
Yes.
Bro, you got it handled.
Yeah.
Break the rock up and get through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He done put a boulder, an extra boulder, so now it's 4 boulders in a row. Because somebody, them people will put
it on
people
you.
will put their worst understanding on you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tell somebody, I'm finna, I got, like, okay, like we were talking earlier, and I said, and I've had this happen a few times in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
When I tell people, they're like, bro, you out in the town? I'm like, yeah, I'm out here. I was out here for business, but first and foremost, I'm out here for a surgery. Mm-hmm. And so I've told 3 or 4 people that, and people they go to the worst shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where we going with it.
That's human nature.
But they like, nigga, as soon as I tell people I'm having surgery, they like, are you okay? Yeah. Nigga, they damn near got me on the deathbed, but I'm in front of you looking real healthy. Now, I've never had a surgery in my life. Yeah. Now, let me explain. And I always have to say, that's why when I told you I was having a surgery and you said what you said, I came with 2 words. Yeah. Big toe. Right. Big toe, bro. I done bubbled it down because people that made me explain, listen, man, big toe. Right. It's my big toe. They going to re-break it from a sports injury, put a pin in it. Yeah. Now, of course, I don't want no surgeries on my body. And people, you know, surgery is surgery. Yeah. I'm not like excited to go into it, but I feel no way about it. I'm going to get back healthy so I can be, it's from sports. I need to be able to have 120% motion, movement, all that stuff. Yeah. You know, because injuries cause problems later. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, but when you tell people something, they put you damn near they see a picture of you getting a surgery, and they got the people that got me opened up from toe to brain.
Yeah, bro.
They got the people, like, when they see a picture of you and they say, man, I'm going to go into surgery, they automatically see a picture of you dang near laying on the slab, dead and with your whole body open, nigga, with every organ hanging out. They're just breaking my big toe, man. Yeah. They're going to break the big toe, and they're going to put a pin in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a small procedure, and it's like, but people, that's what we train to do. So when you call somebody and you share something with you, they either go to the highest highs or the lowest lows because of their past and their understandings.
Yep. That's the key is we look at life through our own lens. Yeah. And taking the time to take a breath and try to see life through someone else's perspective. You have to own it. You don't have to wear that. You don't have to. You know what I mean. But to see it through someone else's perspective can make it that much. So then again, you're not creating a stressor for yourself and for people in your community, because that ain't gonna help nothing.
It's not gonna help anything, and people can't really. And most people aren't capable of helping you with your true problems and issues. No, they're only side, like the peanut gallery. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has an opinion. Yes. Everybody has their home remedy. Yes. But ultimately, I'm about to have to go into this joint, and I got to go in their face first. Yeah. Your face ain't going in their face first. Yeah. You might walk me all the way to the door. Yeah, yeah. But that's where it stops.
That's where it stops.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, And what people don't realize is, man, that fight in the ring is different from the fight in the stands. Yeah. So it's like I tell people, this is what I liken my career to. I liken my career to, I'm the heavyweight champ. And always have been in my weight division. Mm-hmm. And I've had multiple weight divisions that I've conquered. But the whole thing about it is, when it comes to my ups and downs and my roller coaster, I look at it like this. This is the best way I explain it to people. I've always had the belt in my city. I've always had a belt of some sort. I've been the number one nigga in rap out here. No matter, all niggas want to be the number one nigga. I've been him. Had the chokehold on the city multiple times where I was the nigga, the only nigga that was talking about, I don't care if people hear this and don't like it. Yeah. We can go in the booth, nigga, and put words together, nigga, and I will destroy all these people. I don't care who they is. I don't care who it is. I don't care. There's not a rapper here that I feel like I won't destroy. And I don't feel like I won't destroy them. I know I will destroy them with my words. But I'm a man of words. You know what I'm saying? I bend them like the Matrix when the little kid bent that spoon. I bend words like that. You know what I'm saying? Words are my servants. I'm a wordsmith. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. And so, like, when it comes to this music stuff, this is what I do, and I don't really trip about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to do music. But the thing about it is, like, when it comes to whatever I do, I'm going to be him. But I felt like I went to the ring. I had a match that was coming up. And I'm going to the ring, and there's hundreds of thousands of people in the crowd, and the millions watching across the world on pay-per-view. I went in the ring, and I got into a fight with the state. You know what I'm saying? A nigga told on me, and I basically, and put me in a position where I had to get into a fight with the law behind him setting up the fight, basically. He was a bad fight promoter. Yeah. That's basically what I'm going to call this person. Yeah. They done put me in a match that I didn't ask to be in. Yeah. They set it up, signed paperwork, didn't even know, you know what I'm saying, that I was going to be in this fight.
Right.
So I get into the fight with the state, you know what I'm saying, the state system, and I went to the ring. They playing my theme music. I got up in there, and I got knocked out, okay?
Yeah.
I got knocked through the rings in front of everybody, all onto the ground.
Yeah.
I lost my belt, and they took it.
Yeah.
I had to go do 4 years in a box.
Yeah.
I come back. I'm training. I get the belt again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got the belt. I done regained the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the champ again. Everybody, ooh, this nigga done came back from that L.
Yeah.
Okay. I get into another fight, this time with the federal government. I'm coming down the ring, bro, and I can't shy away from the fight. There's no not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once they signed the contract,
Right.
it was like they signed my name too. I wouldn't have signed that contract, but my name was already on there, and then they signed on. So I went to the ring again in front of the hundreds of thousands of people in the audience and the millions watching across the world on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I got in there with the feds, and they hit me, and I flew through the ring again. So now I'm knocked all out the ropes on the ground again, on the in front of the judges, in front of the whole world, knocked out again. Okay, well, I got news for people. I got the belt again right now, and right now I'm training, about to walk down this aisle to unify all the belts. Okay, so I got a belt right now, but I'm going in to unify all the belts, and I'm finna be the unified champion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this time, I'm not going to fight the police, the state police, or the federal government. This is just the regular fights that you have to get to the point where you the champ. You fight every day, small fights, sparring matches, all types of stuff for you to be the champ in what you do. I fight on pay-per-view in front of millions of people. And because I fight in front of millions of people, if I take an L, millions of people are going to see it. Nobody ever understands. People call the person that gets knocked out a bum, and he's a loser, and this and that. But let me tell you something. I always try to tell people just to give them perspective. I never went into any fight planning on losing.
Say that.
Okay? Anytime you see somebody losing, the two combatants or the members of the team, both teams, whoever takes the L, trust me, unless if you got in your mind that you ain't going to win, you already lost.
Right, 100%.
But I've never went into one fight. I don't care if it's a physical fight. I don't care if it's a mental fight. It don't matter. Every fight I ever went into, I went into understanding I was going to win. Did I win them all? No. I know 2 of them that I got knocked out in front of everybody, and they took the belt. When I woke up and I looked back into the ring from the ground, they was raising the police's hands and they had the belt. The second fight with the government, I looked up and I was out of it, and they was taking me off on a stretcher, and I seen the federal government had won. They got the belt up off me. Okay. Well, I'm not finna get in no fights with them dudes no more. Them dudes, but I went in the ring though. I didn't run. It's just like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? I didn't run from Smith and them, and they whooped me. But understand this, I learned a lesson from them whoopings. You know what I'm saying? And I was prepared to fight with them. But are you really ever? When somebody is better than you, for whatever reason, it don't matter if they're a better cheater than you. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't prepared to be the best cheater, the better cheater gonna win. No matter what. And you could be a man of faith. You could be a man of your own God. You could be a reputable person. But in life, we end up in these fights. You don't even ask for them. One of your family members get cancer, or you get it. You ain't asked for that fight, but you in the ring right now. And you got to put together a plan on the fly to get this belt or to maintain your belt. It don't always work like that. And people don't understand, when you get knocked out, they want to laugh at you. But nobody ever says, man, this nigga went to the ring, bro. He didn't run. He went to the ring. He fought the fight. They don't want to give you no credit. Understand, the government is too big. That was a fight I couldn't win. 98% of people that go fight against the government, they lose. 98%. 98% lose. Bruh, I wasn't the 2%. It just wasn't it. I wasn't the 2% in that situation. And sometimes you don't be. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're the 98%, even when you don't want to be. And sometimes life will let you know you ain't nothing but the 98%. You know what I'm saying? And the 98% has to go with what the 98% get. You know what I mean? Whether you fight or not. You can fight back all you want sometimes. Sometimes it's a fight you can't win. And people don't understand that, because most people just sit behind their TV or in the crowd and assess people that fight. They ain't never going to get in no ring. Not no ring that might get them knocked out. They ain't going to go in no ring that's going to get them knocked out. And that's called a challenge. You know what I'm saying? If you beat up bums every single day, but you don't go fight nobody, yeah, you got the belt and you beat up 50 no-names.
Yeah, but you got to continue to work to better yourself. I mean, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? And that's how you better yourself. That's how you improve on yourself in any ways, is that you look for bigger challenges and you look for ways to identify areas where you can strengthen yourself. And it seems like that's what you have been doing. That's what you continue to do, and that's a part of why you are today where you are today.
I've had the belt my whole life. I've had some sort of belt, whether it's the heavyweight belt, the welterweight belt, the motherfucking Intercontinental Champion WWE belt. I keep belts.
Yeah.
My whole life is crazy because I used to watch wrestling when I was little. Mm-hmm. Part of my whole character of music is based on wrestling.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm a bad guy, though.
Yeah.
I'm a straight heel.
Yeah.
For those who knows what that is.
Yeah.
A heel is the bad guy.
Right.
But it's like, when I was a kid, I used to watch wrestling, and those characters were like, I understood their characters, and each one of them has a place, and they play a role.
Yeah.
Some are more popular than others, and some are not. And some of those characters, like, if niggas know characters, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Junkyard Dog, JYD.
Right.
There was a million junk black wrestlers,
right.
but there was only one Junkyard Dog.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He put himself in a position to be remembered. I don't even think the Junkyard Dog's alive still.
Probably not.
A whole bunch of them wrestlers done passed away.
Right.
But any one of these wrestlers, you know what I'm saying, The Undertaker, all these people, those are people that fought in the ring for their identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, that's what I consider myself doing. And if you're not going to fight for your identity, you're going to be unidentifiable.
That's true. Or you allow, and this is something that you alluded to earlier that I have learned just by being on the planet, or you allow other people to give you an identity that you have to then live up to, right?
Yeah.
And depending on where you are in your process, that can be a hindrance.
A vicious hindrance.
You mean? Because then you realize, but it's not who I am.
That's somebody else has a weird control. Narrative that they're controlling you with.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get in these situations, you can't get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then now it's like, I'm stuck being something that I didn't even choose, but I have no choice.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I'm at.
And what do? Do you lay down?
That's the key, right? Because that's where I think we see people make difficult choices. Sometimes it's hard to leave a situation because of being in that situation. As long as you've created you've
comfortability, and acceptance. Listen, when I was in prison, I never had a bad day in 11 years. And people won't understand that. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, I had fun in prison. And I enjoyed myself in prison. Now let's put some, perspective on it. I never wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. Okay? But once I was there, there's no woe is me, no getting around it, no none of that. But where I was at, it was like a college campus. They had a softball field, 2 soccer fields and a football field, handball courts, a full court gym, pool tables in a pool room. Now, don't think I'm glorifying it because it ain't that fresh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is a college campus, 2 full tracks, a softball field, a library, a college. Bro, we doing this stuff every day, bro. I get up at 5:30 in the morning and go work out every single day, hit the yard. Mm-hmm. And then I start my day, and then I go to bed by about 11:30, 12. I read books, and I do it all over again.
Yeah.
There's only 2 days in prison that are the same. You know what those days are?
What's that?
Nigga, the first day you get there and the day you leave. Every other day is Groundhog Day. Every other day is the same day, over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Period. You wear the same clothes. You talk to the same people.
Yeah.
You do the same thing. You be in the same program. You be on the same bunk.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff, bro. I almost lost my identity in there. I almost forgot who I was.
Yeah.
I did all my time in California, except for 6 months out of 90 months.
Yeah.
I did it all in California.
Yeah.
Ain't no big deal. My name is good wherever I go because I carry myself a certain way. I ain't never told on nobody. I ain't never did no underhanded stuff to nobody. People in general, people like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People don't always, you don't have to follow somebody to admire or like them.
Right.
There's a lot of things about people that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like athletes, but I don't know these niggas personally.
Right.
If I knew some of the things that these dudes do personally, I wouldn't like nothing about them.
Right.
But it's like, and I'm not saying people are doing things that are going to make you not like them. I'm just saying we don't always understand what we don't see.
Right.
I see niggas score 30 points on a basketball court. I'm like, I admire the fact that nigga knows how to put the ball in the hole 30 points worth.
Right.
I respect that.
Right.
But that has nothing to do with the way they live their lives. That's a basketball game that lasts for 3 hours.
Right.
We tend to judge people on these small sample sizes of things they show us, but we don't know nothing about the pot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so not knowing anything about the pot, you know what I'm saying, will put you in a position. Sometimes you end up in the pot and you what they cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a part of what I work to do with the podcast, man. Is people get to hear the art that people create or see the things, but this is a place where people get to tell their own stories and create their own narrative and speak their own truths, man. So I appreciate you being here. I know we've talked about doing this literally for years, bro. Literally for years, and so I appreciate you taking the time to come through, man. If people wanna continue to tap in and see what you got cooking, bro, what's the most direct way, the easiest way for people to do that?
I think the most direct way would be to get on my social media. You can get on Facebook and look up Kenny Mellenium. Mellenium spelled with a Mellenium, or you can look on Instagram and you can look up I Am Mellenium, IAM MELLENIUM. Those are my main sites. I have Twitter and all that. But I mean, if I'm gonna touch on this real quick and then we can wind down. So like I know people want to know, how I got into Airbnb. In the 3 years I've been doing Airbnb, I've had 8 listings, 8 properties. You know what I mean? And I would say it's a business venture. A lot of people see me in the Airbnb world and they're surprised probably a lot at first, you know what I'm saying? Because they know me for certain stuff, and when people know you for certain stuff, they actually want you to stay that.
Yeah.
It's like a weird thing. Like this is the thing, if you decide to run for president in 2024, they're gonna be like, nigga, we just want you to be a DJ.
Right.
But the thing about it is, why do I have to be anything you want me to be? Because I'm not running around telling nobody, well, you should just do that. So when you want to get another job and you want to make 25 cents or $1 or $2 more, I'm not going to say, no, you need to stay in that bracket. Don't go being ad manager onto your resume to get more money. So it's like people don't always want you to evolve. Yeah. And so I ended up in a place that I didn't see coming. Yeah. I got the new album come out. I got a song about to drop called Right Now, coincidentally. Yeah. And I just shot the visual for it out here a couple of months ago with Black Lagoon. Yeah. And that's about to drop. I got, a lot of music dropping. But the Airbnb stuff is like, at some point in time, no matter what you do, it's always good to evolve and to add things and to have passions and to do things that people don't think you're going to do. Yeah. And I think the real estate, there's more millionaires than real estate. Real estate has made more millionaires than almost anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the key. And it's like, I have family members that are I have one or two family members that are millionaires from real estate, but it didn't trickle down to me. Nobody ever told me you should do this. This is close people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And most of Portland patronizes the businesses that my family owns and don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy because I see people in the businesses all the time, but it's not, I can't take any pride like that's our business. No, that's my uncle's business. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't get no money off of it. We ain't never talk. I can go in there and bowl for free all day. Yeah. I can walk in there, bowl for free. They give me the card, their personal card out their wallet to go and play the arcade games for free. Yeah. But you got to understand, that's not satisfying to me. That's not, and I done took my chicks to the bowling alley and we go in there for free. Yeah. And my uncle has a business partner. He been knowing us since we was kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Since we was like small kids. And it's like that, but that don't do nothing for me. I need to actually be in possession of my own holdings, my own future. And I'm going to tell people, never be scared to try something that you don't know anything about. Because right now, you got to understand financials is important. You have to understand financials. I don't care if you're 10, 11, 12. Nobody's too young to learn about financials because at some point, somebody's going to pass you the ball and you need to know how to shoot. We're not preparing our people to get the ball. So it's almost like if you don't prepare them to to shoot the ball when they get the ball, you're really like hindering them from even being in any type of understanding and getting on the court. Because as soon as they get past the ball and don't know what to do with it, they're going to get snatched out and put on the bench. Yeah. You got to at least know what you're doing. So we got to tell our, like I'm going to go see my nephew. He's like 9, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to tell him what my uncle didn't tell me. Yeah. Even if he don't pay no attention. Hey, man, real estate's important.
Yeah.
You need to understand real estate's important.
Yeah.
Let's get away from the Legos and the TV shows and the stuff you like. Give me 15 minutes. Real estate is important. I want him to know that. You know what I'm saying? So that he'll know something I didn't. Because if I would have knew real estate was important when I was doing what I was doing, hustling heavy, illegally on the other side, I would have bought and purchased houses. I watched opportunities go by me and didn't jump on them when I had plenty of opportunities. Yeah. And I had the money.
You had the means, yeah.
Even me and my relative had the money. We could have came together. Yeah. We missed opportunities. Yeah. Now I'm not missing opportunities. Now I'm hunting opportunities. Now I could smell the blood in the water, and I'm in the water all the time. I don't get out of it. Yeah. But I ended up going into business with my partner. We've had 8 Airbnbs in 3 years, and I ended up buying a property in Houston. And I never owned a property before, but so I bought my first property.
What's up, bro?
And so, you know, I try to share with people. And I'm not going to go super deep into it right now, but I will be offering consultations on my social media, 30-minute consultations, things of that nature for people to have questions. Because like I say, I really know what I'm talking about when it comes to Airbnb and arbitrage. And I'm on both sides of arbitrage and ownership. So people don't understand, me and my business partner, we built this from the beginning, from cleaning our own units. Like, I clean toilets. Like, people have seen me clean toilets on my social media. Now, I know I'm a rapper. I know I'm a certain type of person, and I probably shouldn't be cleaning toilets in you guys' eyes. Yeah. But the thing about it, when I was in prison, I was cleaning toilets for all those years. Listen, man, I got paid $5.75 a month for 6 years straight.
That's crazy.
That was what I got paid for the job that I worked in federal prison. Yeah. Now, they send you there and expect you to do what with $5.75 a month? Every 30 days, $5.75 showed up on my pay sheet on the computer. Yeah. Bruh, what am I going to do? For a year, you get $60. They gave me $60 for a year worth of work. I made $60. Yeah. Bruh, you can't do nothing with that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you like this. Before I be concerned about scrubbing toilets for my own business, which I'm not, I was scrubbing behind other men's asses, shitting every day, scrubbing these toilets for $5.25, bruh. So if you got to understand, it's nothing I won't do. I've already done it for $5.25. And mind you, you're paying to stay there because your people got to send you money. You got to have money. You can't you're paying to be in prison. Yeah. A lot of times we pay. So if you're going to pay to be in a situation, pay to be in a situation that's lucrative to you and your family members. Right. Don't put yourself in a position when you're in prison and you spending $300 a month on commissary on store. You know what I'm saying? And you're giving them money to house you. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I was in prison, I started my own store. I ran a store myself, an illegal store, for the whole 6 years. For the whole 6.5 years, everybody knows that I ran a store. I had one of the biggest stores in Longpok Penitentiary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was a black-owned store.
Black-owned business. That's what's up, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's illegal to run a store.
Well, yeah.
In prison.
Yeah.
Bro, I had the third biggest store on a 1,600-man compound. 800 Mexicans, 600 blacks, and a few hundred others.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, bruh, you got to understand, like, I'm going to eat one way or the other no matter where I go. Yeah. And if you ain't got the mentality, that's the mentality that'll allow you to end up in an area like Airbnb. Right. My business partner was my chick. She from New Orleans. She hires and fires most of the America top 5. Like, all the attorneys, she vets them and hires them. Yeah. She's 33 years old. She's black. She has 3 degrees. And she's bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, she's from New Orleans. Yeah. But the thing about it is, like, one day she hit me and said, hey, when the pandemic first started 3 years ago, she calls me and says, hey, we only been messing around for a few months. Yeah. She said, I'm thinking about doing something for some extra income. Mind you, she makes $150,000 a year. Right. Okay? Right. She says, I'm thinking about something for some extra income. She's like, what do you think about Airbnb? Now, mind you, I ain't been chilling with this chick but for like 2-3 months. Right. But she's calling to ask for my opinion. Right. I say, do it. She says, all my family says I shouldn't, and it's in the beginning of the pandemic. I said, do it. She got a property. She moved out of one of her properties, turned it into Airbnb. Then we ended up doing it together. We've had 8 since then. We bought a house together. And now you see, all because I believed in her and said, do it. Yeah. She did it. Yeah. And then we ended up being business partners. And voila, you see me here today. And I really am an Airbnb guru. I don't say it because I don't feel like I got to say it, but I do know everything about Airbnb, from building it, from staging, and all my art's in my Airbnb. We sell it out of the Airbnbs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to maximize. I just added a bottle service to my Airbnbs.
What?
So when you come to my Airbnbs, it's a locked refrigerator there that you can hit us with the code. You pay for the bottles, and then we hit you with the code. You can open the key, get in there. You can get the mixers. You can get the Hennessy. You can get the Casamigos. You can get the vodka.
Yeah.
It's in there. High level stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm and when people see me do it, I've never seen people do that. Now I'm sure people have bars in their Airbnbs.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I've never seen one. And it's another joint in there. I ain't going to speak on it yet till I show y'all on the internet, but I got some more stuff that people never seen.
Yeah.
You got to bring stuff to the fight that somebody ain't never seen before. If you get in there throwing them same rights and lefts, you're going to get knocked out.
Right.
You got to come with some knees and some leg kicks and some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some elbows and some headbutts and some. You got to come with some extra stuff. You got to get your, you know what I'm saying, resume. You got to fatten it up a little bit. So, like I said, I'm going to keep it short, but that's how I ended up in Airbnb, and I've been doing it for 3 years. And I fully run the apps. Like, it's nothing I can't do. I run into people all the time that say, oh, yeah, bro. They ask me, well, yeah, you know, I'm in the Airbnb world. And I say, oh, yeah, bro, me too. And I innocently pull out my phone and pull out the app like, hey, these are what my properties look like. And then people be like, oh, no, Mo, like, we're thinking about doing it. Like, people look at me and they don't think that I know what I'm doing. But as you see, you know what I'm saying? As you see, when you go on my phone, you see what?
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see Airbnb.
Yeah.
What do you see next to it?
Oh, Turo. Okay.
Yeah, I do
see
Airbnb and Turo.
I see you. I see you.
Oh, I'm running these joints. And when you hit the app, just in case people don't know because they don't be knowing, see, this is the inbox. Have you ever got an Airbnb?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the inbox. This is where you talk to your customers.
Your
clients.
Yep.
See? And then when I go here, see that?
8 listings. He ain't lying.
No, I ain't lying. It's 8 listings. There they go. Comfy condo near the Galleria. Houston Midtown condo. Luxury downtown Houston townhouse. Stylish condo and Galleria high-rise. Luxury Galleria mall condo. Luxury Midtown house near the medical center. Modern luxury condo in the heart of Houston. Spacious Art Deco condominium in the Galleria area.
So if you in the Houston area, but I guess on Airbnb, you have to just search for, but you can search for them by, can you search for them by title?
No, you can, but see, I'm going to make it easy for the people. See, the name of my company is called Urban Lux.
Okay.
That's the name. We're a black-owned company. It's me and my business partner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say we the #1 vacation rental company in Houston. That's what I'm going to say, the #1 black one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some people to dispute that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is I said what I said.
Yeah.
Now, this is that. So all you have to do is get on my social media and hit the link. Everything's in my link tree.
There it is.
If you get on my Instagram, it's in the link tree. You go to the top, you tap it, it takes you to all my properties and to my vehicles.
There it is.
You can tap on there, you can look at all the pictures, you can do anything. If you hit me on my social media and you ask for my link, I will send you the link tree. But you can go find it, tap it. It's on my Facebook, Kenny Mellenium. It's on my Instagram, I am Mellenium.
Yeah.
I got some new drops with my clothing line, Christ Jesus, the clothing line. I got some new stuff, some custom stuff coming from that.
Yeah.
I got custom art. If you want a one of a kind piece, hit me. I'm gonna make you something you never seen before, and it's, you know what I mean, for you. I pretty much got everything, man.
And the album's coming.
And the album's coming.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? The album's coming. I'm about to drop a visual probably in like 2-3 weeks to right now, and they spinning my records from here to Houston every single day. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere a radio station is playing my music, and you know what I'm saying? I would advise y'all to put yourself in position. You know what I'm saying? Respect the DJ.
Yes, sir.
Without no DJ, you know what I'm saying? There'll be no replay.
Yes, 100%, man.
No DJs, no replays.
No replays, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
You get play once, but you won't get the replay. Huh?
Hey, yo, bro, like, for real. This has been dope. Thank you for doing it, man. Excited for all that you're working on and for what's yet to come. My guy Mellenium, live on the Klyph Notes podcast, man. Remember, the podcast is available everywhere that you get your podcast, man. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, everywhere. Audible, we on Amazon Music, the whole 9, man. Check out the Klyph Notes podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, man. Check me out every Saturday night on XRAY FM. Welcome to the neighborhood, right here on the Numberz. We're recording at the Numberz every weekday, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m., where you'll get to hear joints from Mellenium. You know what I mean? Like right now, for real. And and tap in, man. DJ Klyph all over social media, and then of course KlyphNotes.com. All right, y'all. Until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.
Appreciate y'all, man. Kenny M.I. AK Mack.
Yeah.